after a fun come-from-behind victory on Sunday behind a couple of Aaron Judge blasts, the Yankees are north of the border to take on the Toronto Blue Jays in a division rivalry matchup. On the mound is Jordan Montgomery, who's seeking his first win of the year and a little bit of run support. My recap, your reactions, coming up next. This is Yankees Game Night. How's it going, everybody? 10 straight wins for the Yankees. First of all, nice to have Michael Kay back in the booth tonight after that weekend in Kansas City. Yankees are playing great. They're winning high-scoring games. They're winning low-scoring games. They're hitting home runs. They're manufacturing runs when they need to, like tonight. They're playing great defense. They're pitching fantastic, especially the starters who are keeping you in the game every single night. This is a much better team than I anticipated, than a lot of us anticipated. And no matter what happens going forward, 10 wins in a row is worth a round of applause. Let's hear it for your New York Yankees. Hashtag 10 straight in the chat. Aaron Judge picked up a base hit in the first inning. That extended his hitting streak to 7 games. He's very quietly a 300 hitter now, folks. This guy can really hit. Yankees turned a really nice double play in the bottom half of the first. They had a couple of really nice double plays tonight. Bottom 2, Matt Chapman crushes a ball that would have been a home run at Yankee Stadium. I'm pretty sure. Would have probably been a double or a triple if he didn't catch it. But he leaps at the wall, made a fantastic catch to save a run. Just a phenomenal play for Giancarlo Stanton. Best play I've seen him make as a Yankee. Top 3, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa picked up a hustle double. It was a ground ball up the middle, would have been a single, but they had him kind of shifted, and he never stopped running. And when they bobbled it a little bit, he almost turned it into 3, but he had to turn back. Nice challenge by the Yankees on a ground ball by DJ LeMahieu, infield single, but both runners got stranded. IKF also made a really nice play in the bottom of the third. It was a backhanded stab. He set himself up nicely in the hole, made a really strong throw from deep in the hole to get the runner at first. I just like him more and more every day. I love how he charges the ball even when it's hit hard, especially in a double play situation. That's how you save runs. Baseball, as my Little League coach used to say, and as you hear often, it's an old baseball aphorism, is a game of inches. And those little inches, when you add them up, can mean the difference in a ball game. Top 4, Gleyber Torres is back. He makes it 2-0 with a line drive home run to right field. He got robbed of a single in the first. He hit one hard up the middle. And the Blue Jays have just, I got to give credit to them. They've had their guys positioned fantastically well in every game against the Yankees. But if Gleyber Torres is back, watch out. Bo Bichette got the Jays on the board with an RBI double in the bottom of the fourth. One positive, the throw from Hicks seemed a lot stronger than we've seen from him post-Tommy John surgery. Now, he missed the cutoff man, but he overthrew him, and it still had some giddy-up on it. So that's something to keep an eye on. Maybe Aaron Hicks' arm is coming back. They got one more run on a single by Chapman. So the Blue Jays tied it up in the fourth. Monty settled down in the fifth. I thought he was done, but for some reason they send him out in the sixth with Bichette coming up. And Bichette singled to knock him out of the game. Loaizaga came in and escaped further damage. He was nasty tonight. Hashtag Johnny Lasagna.
Don't act like you're not impressed.
Final line for Jordan Montgomery. 5 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, both earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. His command has been unbelievably good this year. 2.88 ERA on the season after 5 starts for Monty. Really nice start for Jordan Montgomery, let's get a little bit more of that.
More of that, please.
Blue Jays put men on second and third against Castro in the bottom of the seventh with 2 outs, but Clay Holmes came in and bailed them out. Then they threatened against Holmes in the eighth, and he picked up a nice 6-4-3 double play to escape trouble. Top 9, Giancarlo Stanton, clutch as all whatever. Gets a base hit, broken bat single, but he'll take it. The bat died a hero, as they say. And then the fastest man in baseball, Tim LeCastro, who's becoming a phenomenal weapon for the Yankees. Pinch runs, everybody in the ballpark knows he's going to steal. Everybody in the stadium. And that's something they said to Dave Roberts before he stole. Actually, it was Willie McGee, I think, said this to Dave Roberts. And he knew he was going to have to steal in 2004. And what was said to him was that eventually you'll have to steal a base with everybody in the ballpark knowing that you're going to be stealing. And in 2004, he recognized that situation in Game 4 of the ALCS against the Yankees with the Red Sox. And tonight was a very similar situation for LeCastro. Everybody in the ballpark knew he was going, but he's just so damn fast. They couldn't throw him out. He just straight up beat the throw, beat the delivery, and a great slide. He kind of did one of those one-arm stretch slides, and he beat it. And then Gleyber Torres knocked him in for his third RBI of the night. Chad Green slams the door. 10 wins in a row.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
And as we said, no vote necessary. Mr. Gleyber Torres, your belt winner.
Belt winner.
Hi12397, who loves Brett Gardner, says he's not better, but he's fast like the old Gardner. He's a weapon. He's what they wanted Tyler Wade to be, but Tyler Wade just wasn't as good a base runner. Tyler Wade was very fast. He's still very fast, but he's not the same kind of base runner as LeCastro. Look, there's instincts that come with, when to lead off, how to, read pitchers and things like that. And Wade didn't have that, but LeCastro for sure has it. And they made a comparison during tonight's game, which I found very apropos, which I've tweeted about before, and that's Homer Bush. The 98 team had Homer Bush, who you would bring up in a situation like this as a weapon. Raleigh says, Jordan Montgomery for the win. Except Jordan Montgomery didn't get the win, did he? I believe it had to go to Loizaga. Let me pull it up on MLB.com real quick. No, it went to Clay Holmes. That's right. Clay Holmes came in and got the W. He's 2-0 on the season, 0.75 ERA. Chad Green, it scared me when Chad Green was getting the call instead of Aroldis Chapman, but the Yankees don't like to use Chapman 3 days in a row. And Green, for his credit, just shut it down. He just was dominant tonight. No chance for the Blue Jays. Board Rican Veteran says, I don't care how we do it as long as we win. And I agree 100%.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And, whoops. Let's see here. Chris says, thank God Chapman wasn't the closing pitcher. Hey, Chapman has a 0.00 ERA this season. So let's start paying a little bit more respect to Mr. Chapman. He's done a great job. Fritz Walter says, Gleyber should concentrate on controlled swings with power. Home runs are going to come along. And that is a great point. I 100% agree.
Yes, I agree.
Mickey Mantle used to say that he swung for a home run every time. And some guys did that. And some guys are built to be able to do that. But not everybody who tries to hit home runs can hit home runs. And I think over the last couple years, Gleyber Torres admittedly has been swinging for the long ball a little bit too much. He fell in love with being a home run hitter when he hit 38 home runs at the age of, 21 or 22? And I don't blame him. If you do that well, you think, hey, I can hit long balls and I can get a $300 million contract in a few years. Well, he got away from his approach. And as Fritz said, he's just clearly a much better hitter when he's using the whole field, when he's hitting line drives to right, when he's hitting base hits up the middle. I don't even mind when he's off balance and just hits a little duck snort bloop for a base hit, because that's a hit. It's not the prettiest thing, but it looks like a line drive in the scorebook. Looks like a line drive when you tack it on to his batting average or his OPS. I like this version of Gleyber Torres, even though he did hit a home run tonight, more than the guy who's trying to hit 500-foot home runs to left field. I just, that's just how I feel. Gabriel Morales says, The one night I bet Rizzo to get a hit, he doesn't. Just my luck. Digging the new intro. The boys are hot. Let's keep it going. Appreciate that. Although it's not really a new intro anymore, right? I mean, this is game 23 of the season. And by the way, how crazy is it that this team has won 10 games in a row this early in the season? Typically, the Yankees get off to slow starts, and then with the weather heating up, they start to hit more long balls, and then they'll feast on the dregs of the league in the midsummer. Like last year, August, you saw the 14-game winning streak. That felt like kind of an anomaly to me because they were winning a lot of close games. They still weren't hitting very much. They had some guys coming up from the minor leagues who did really well, Greg Allen and Andrew Velasquez. But this is the team that was constructed, right? And they are taking no prisoners right now. They're beating up on the bad teams, and tonight they proved that they can handle a good team too. They handled a good offense. They've handled the Blue Jays offense pretty much all season. Michael Rubio says, trade Torres. Wait, sorry. Wrong chat. Appreciate that. I added some quick keyboard strokes to my sound effects so I can quickly give an applause now. Dean Jones says, why can't a closer close all the time? These players are spoiled. 2 games only. Well, if you've ever tried to throw a 100-mile-an-hour fastball and throw 20 of them, it takes a lot out of the arm, you know? To do it 2 days in a row takes even more out of the arm. And I'm sure he could have gone today. You just lose effectiveness. And in a one-run game, go with somebody who's rested. I personally probably wouldn't have gone to Chad Green, even though he'd pitched well. You know, if I were calling the shots, I would have given the first call to Mike King and say, hey, look, can you go? I think he went 1 1/3 yesterday. He should be able to go. But if he couldn't, my next option probably would have been to either stick with Clay Holmes for one more inning because he was dealing. Even though Clay Holmes threw, how many pitches did he throw? 14 pitches tonight? He probably could have thrown another 10 pitches. I probably would have gone with Clay Holmes. But hey, Chad Green got it done. Derek Musciano says, I agree with you, Derek. Glaber is best when he uses the whole field. And I agree with you, Derek. So we agree with each other, Derek.
I agree.
It's like a Derek paradox. Lori C says, like and subscribe. Appreciate that, Lori. Let's get a round of applause for the mods, Lori and THG, and Sprinting Water. Mr. Kniffs taking a dig at Gallo, even in victory, says, looked great without Gallo. Tomorrow night, you might see Gallo. You've got a tough right-hander on the mound, Alek Manoah. And I think tomorrow night is the night that scares me the most of this series. If they can get by tomorrow, I think they might finish off another sweep and go home with a 12-game win streak, which would be something else. I mean, if you go home with a 12-game win streak, you're feeling good, you're back in your bed, you're back with your family and your dog, you're feeling good, the whole city loves you. If they get home with a 12-game win streak, they might win 15 or 16 in a row. It could happen. It could happen. But you got to win tomorrow. Jose Fernandez says, I'm so excited. Let's go, Yanks. Let's go, Yanks. I appreciate that. Puerto Rican veteran says, I didn't believe in IKF. Proud to say I was wrong. Wholeheartedly agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
JT Zari says, someone should apologize to Cashman. I'm going to write him a nice letter and just say, sorry, I crushed you all winter for not doing more. Dion says, so many roller coaster losses late last year. Yeah, last year was just, let's not even talk about last year anymore. That was just an odd year. I don't even want to think about that team anymore. That's ancient history as far as I'm concerned. BB says, most consistent Yanks team I can remember. Keep it up. Hey, look, if you're winning every single night, that's pretty consistent. That's pretty consistent. And look, they're, like I said, they're winning every type of ball game. We saw a couple of 12-run games. They had, 10-plus runs in 4 out of 5 games. And then tonight, they got to win a 3-2 game. I think their defense is an underrated aspect of this team. No errors once again tonight. Every time there's a double play ball, they turn it. Last year, they had trouble turning those. They really did. And, they turned a couple of triple plays. But the defense allows you to win these close games, and the lockdown bullpen allows you to win those close games. 4 shutout innings from the bullpen tonight, besides Loizaga. Miguel Castro, 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 walk, no runs. Clay Holmes, 1 1/3, 2 hits, no walks, 1 strikeout, and Chad Green, 1 inning, nothing, and 2 strikeouts. So, hey, look, this team is getting everything, the right mix that they need right now. Frankie Baseball says, Derek, are the Yankees using their analytics more or less than last year? That's a great question. I don't know. I'm not in the room. What I would guess is that they're using them better, right? They're doing whatever the Rays were doing on shifting. We've seen them go to the 4-man outfield a few times. However they're mixing and matching their pitching is working. Whatever their new pitching philosophy is under Matt Blake is working phenomenally. We're seeing so many guys throw more cutters. We're seeing such great command. We're not seeing walks from pretty much anybody. It's just so fun to watch. This is just such a great team. Nick Rossi says, I'm not liking Donaldson a lot. We saw a couple of good things. He had a couple of good at-bats the last few days. And I know I sound like Aaron Boone last year when I'm saying that. Good at-bats, we're turning the corner. But I honestly believe it. He's having some good at-bats. I'm seeing him spit on some close pitches. I think it's only a matter of time before he goes on a hot streak. He might be one of those guys that when the weather heats up, he does. I admittedly haven't looked at Josh Donaldson's historical stats early in the season, but a lot of times guys who start slow every year. IKF, not Donaldson is the best trade this offseason, according to Raleigh. Appreciate that. Derek Q says, any update on Steven Ridings? Yes, he is rehabbing in Tampa. He actually posted on Instagram. Actually, I think his fiance or maybe his girlfriend posted, Tampa is so much better of a place to rehab than Arizona. And so he is down there rehabbing. He's on the 60-day IL, so I don't think we can see him until at least June. But I think we will see Ridings this year, and I still think he's going to be a factor. I'm amazed at how healthy this pitching staff has been. And Board Rican Veteran with the combo breaker says Yanks didn't have a 2021 season.
What, is there an echo in here?
I'm not going to talk about the 2021 season. Ronnie says, begging for Cashman's forgiveness. I've called for his head on a stick for the last 2 months. I've been calling it for his head on a stick for the last 15 years. So I think I need to beg a little bit more than you do, but appreciate that. And Raleigh says, did Gallo strike out on the bench? Ouch. Ouch. Let's see. 850 in the chat. I'm not even looking at the numbers. That's fantastic. 874 now. That's great. Let's see here. Dean Jones says, maybe 15 go Yanks. This team is playing like they are as good on paper as good on paper. I'm not following that. I'm sorry. Yankees fan of 70 years. So that's great to hear. Brandon Singh says the Yankees are running more too. First to third and stolen bases. And that's a fantastic point. That's a great point.
Yes, I agree.
We're seeing the minor league teams run more too. The Yankees minor league system. Clearly, this is an organizational philosophy. LeCastro stealing that bag with everybody knowing he was going to steal. The Yankees simply didn't have that tool last season. They haven't had it for a while. And a stolen base threat, and perhaps one of the best stolen base threats in the major leagues, on the bench for you in critical situations, especially with analytics these days, that's something that we don't really talk about. Analytics when it comes to the stolen base, you know exactly how long a catcher's pop time is, essentially, how long it takes for them to pop and throw to second. You know precisely how long a pitcher's delivery to the plate can be. You know how hard a guy throws from behind the dish to second base in terms of miles an hour. And it's just arithmetic. You can do the mathematics right there on a tablet and figure out whether or not LeCastro is going to be able to steal against this guy. And they must feel, he's going to be able to do it. So he's in there to run. If they didn't think he could do it, he wouldn't have pinch run. They would have gone for the home run like they did last year, pretty much every at bat. Marcus Killigrew says, thank God for K and Cone.
I wholeheartedly agree.
I love those guys. We got a super dono here from Jeremiah Weaver. Says, how about our starters? All 5 have been fantastic. JMO for 11 tomorrow. Yeah, I'll definitely take that. Appreciate the dono. I think JMO's going to give us a nice outing tomorrow, and I'm really excited about what Nestor Cortez can do in Game 3 because he's been fantastic. A little bit of a down start last time. I think he's going to bounce back. Unhinged Yankee says they may never lose again. Yeah, they're absolutely on fire. I need a special. Here we go. Unhinged, I want to hear in the chat how many wins you think this team is going to get. Last year, you were saying when the Yankees had this big, long winning streak that they were going to go 20 victories. And I said, no, 16 was my prediction. They ended up going 14. We had that conversation at 12, I believe. We're at 10 right now. We're at 10. I think it all hinges on tomorrow. If they win tomorrow, I think they're going to go 15 or 16. Phoenix Flame says, how long will the win streak last? I think 15 or 16 if they win tomorrow. If they lose tomorrow, obviously 10. V Music says, IKF was a steal. Wholeheartedly agree. Mike Prince says Miggy needs to be on the bench. Miggy is right now in COVID taxi squad duty. Another from Board Rican Veteran says Gallo needs to come back and hit a streak. We need to get him red hot.
I wholeheartedly agree.
It would be a huge difference maker. Says Anthony says we've got a dono from Devon Cerna. I must have missed it. I don't always catch them all. I'm going to try and scroll back up and find it. Bear with me just a second. There's no guarantees that it's going to get read every time. The chat moves so fast that it's tough for me to always find them. But again, great win for the Yankees tonight. And I'm going to try and find this super chat. Sorry, I scrolled up. I can't find it. I apologize. If somebody wants to repost it, I'll try and post it. Frankie Baseball says no one should complain about tonight. This is a great win. I mean, this was a very tight victory. The Yankees played very tight baseball. So did the Blue Jays, for that matter. And if that's any indication of what this matchup is going to be like for the entire season, I really can't wait. And Brandon says Rizzo is resting tomorrow. He drives one deep. Rizzo, I think, will be in there tomorrow against the tough righty in Manoah. Okay, THD says, the dono from Devon. Glaber has been our most clutch hitter in late innings since he got the call. No one realizes that. I appreciate the dono. Thank you very much. And Glaber has been very clutch. I don't have any stats to back up that he's been the most clutch, but it does come to, I can think of a number of big hits. He had the opposite field pinch hit walk-off. He had the big triple to drive in 3 runs. And then tonight. So, I mean, hey, look, can't complain about this. Scrappy win, heck yeah. Building chemistry, I agree.
I wholeheartedly agree.
And we'll take a couple more tonight, and then we will wrap it up and look forward to 11 tomorrow. Dean Jones says they will win 98 and 64 if no problem. Sign Judge before we lose him. You know, Judge's price goes up every day, every single day. And every time that he gets one up and in from a pitcher, I hold my breath because he's so key to this team. And he's red hot right now. I think he has a 7-game hitting streak after tonight. 1 for 4. He's hitting .298. He's got a 1.002 OPS. Yankees have a number of very good OPSs on the team. Rizzo, 1.012. And then after that, they got a number of guys in the 700s. LeMahieu's at 799. So 800 is where I consider like an outstanding OPS. And then they've got some guys who you know are going to get better, but it's kind of low right now. Stanton's at 690. He's hitting 256. He's kind of lying in the weeds. I think he's going to blow up here soon. Wouldn't surprise me if he goes berserker in the next homestand. I honestly predicted him to kind of catch fire in this series against Toronto. I don't think Manoah is a good matchup for him. Wouldn't surprise me if he's even on the bench tomorrow against Manoah. He's lights out. 1.44 ERA, throws in the mid to upper 90s with a nasty slider. He's just as filthy as it gets. Dion says, shocked that Cano was DFA'd. I saw a number of people say that the Yankees should pick up Robinson Cano, and I'm going to go ahead and disagree with that. I just don't think he's a good fit anymore. If this was, 5 years ago and he was DFA'd, maybe.
Like a glove.
Still a good defender in my opinion. I mean, he looks smooth, but I haven't looked at his numbers recently, but he got DFA'd for a reason. Maybe you could bring him in as like a team assistant or something, like an infield coach or something, somebody to work with the younger players in spring training. But I think his playing days might be behind him or very close to behind him. I'd be honestly surprised if somebody picks him up. Angel Reyes says Hicks with runners in scoring position is terrible. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but he's had some good games and some bad games this year. Obviously, tonight was a bad one. 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts, 2 left on base. He's hitting .263. I think that's about as good as you can expect from Hicks most of the time. I mean, we got used to him hitting about 220, 230 and drawing a ton of walks. A little bit concerning that he's not drawing as many walks this year. His OPS just 693. But again, he's missed a lot of time and he's just coming back. Would not surprise me if, he turns it on as the season goes along. I think that it's possible that the disruption, he just had a few days off. He missed the entire KC series, I think it was. No, it wasn't the KC series. He missed the entire series before that. I'm all confused. I'm all out of whack. He missed 3 games due to paternity leave. I think it was before the KC series. And, I just want him to get going. And if he gets going, he's a difference maker because, obviously hitting from both sides of the plate. And he's always had power in the past, but he really doesn't seem to be hitting for much power this year. Sprinting Water says team chemistry has been off the charts.
Excellent.
It's looking great. I'm seeing a lot of smiles. I'm seeing a lot of hijinks in the dugout. You're seeing guys be really supportive of one another. It's been a great vibe. Been a fantastic vibe. And Junior B says Yankees have the best record in Major League Baseball. Let's hear it one more time from Mr. John Sterling.
Ball game over. Yankees win. The Yankees win.
I'll see you guys tomorrow with the pregame. Nostradamus or Nostraderic took the L tonight. The prediction was a DJ LeMahieu home run, so that drops the batting average under 500. I'll do better next time. Have a wonderful night, everybody. 10 in a row for the Yankees.